The abduction of a 10-year-old girl has haunted the seaport city of Bridgeport, Connecticut for over 20 years. One November morning, the schoolgirl told her friends that she was going to the mall with her uncle that day, before climbing into the back of a van, which then drove away. She never came back. Bianca Elaine Lebron was born on the 26th of June 1991 and lived with her mother, Carmelita Torres, her stepfather, Angelo Garcia, and her three siblings, two sisters, Felicia and Janissa, and a brother, Daniel, at an address on Clinton Avenue in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Bianca was described by family and friends as being an outgoing, friendly, happy, and confident young girl who loved dancing, singing, caring for her pet hamster, Nina, and shopping at the nearby Milford and Trumbull malls. She worked hard at school and was well behaved. On the morning of November 7th, 2001, 5th grader Bianca arrived at Elias House School as normal. She lined up by the front door, waiting to enter the building alongside her teacher and other students. Bianca told her friends and the teacher that her uncle was going to take her to the mall that day to go shopping. Excited about the idea, the 10-year-old invited her friends to join her, but they refused and headed to their first class when the morning bell sounded, but not before watching Bianca run across the playground towards a nearby older model two-tone brown and tan van with tinted windows and poorly maintained bodywork, with some areas having been sanded down and the sides showing a chrome trim. Bianca entered the van calmly and of her own free will at approximately 8:30 a.m, and the driver didn't interfere with her in any way. Therefore, Bianca's friends thought that the man was indeed her uncle or someone known to her. The vehicle then drove off into the distance, and Bianca Lebron was never seen or heard from again. Carmelita, Bianca's mother, became worried after her daughter failed to return home by 4:30 p.m, but thought she was perhaps at a friend's house. The 10-year-old often visited relatives' homes after the school day had ended, and on one occasion she disappeared overnight but turned up safe at a friend's house the following morning. On this particular occasion, Carmelita believed her daughter to be at a friend's house. However, by 8:30 p.m. that night, after Bianca had still not returned home, Carmelita contacted authorities to report her daughter as missing. Police, alongside Bianca's family and friends, went out searching for the missing schoolgirl, placing missing persons posters all around Bridgeport and delivering flyers to local residents, but despite their efforts, no trace of her was found. Bianca's parents were informed about what had happened in the school grounds the following day, and a chill went down their spines when staff informed them that Bianca's uncle had taken her out for the day. Bianca didn't have an uncle, nor did she know anyone who owned a van similar to the one that the schoolgirl was seen willingly getting into. Not to mention, no family members ever picked Bianca up from school. Rather shockingly, it came to light that the school did not realise that Bianca had actually gone missing the day prior. The teacher who had overheard Bianca talking about spending the day with her uncle had simply marked her down as absent without batting an eye, even though it was extremely out of character for Bianca to skip classes. As a result of their neglectful actions, the teacher in question was suspended. Administration staff also failed to follow up on Bianca's absence, and they did not contact her parents to ask why she was not in class that day. The school staff were widely criticised for their actions, and as a result, stricter security measures and new attendance policies were put into place in order to protect the students' welfare. But for Bianca, it was too late. Carmelita and Angelo were understandably angry and upset with how the school conducted themselves. Their daughter was on school grounds, therefore was under the school's duty of care. Staff were irresponsible and neglectful, and as a result, failed to protect Bianca from being abducted. Police were also at a loss due to the school's negligence. Authorities were angered by the fact that they lost precious time the previous day, which could have been used to search for Bianca. Authorities managed to interview some of Bianca's classmates and a number of other witnesses who collectively managed to give a detailed description of the man who kidnapped her. The driver was described as being a Hispanic male, aged somewhere between 20 and 30 years old. He had an average build and stood between 5 feet 8 and 5 feet 11 inches tall. The man in question had a black curly afro with long sideburns and a beard, and also had brown eyes, a prominent nose, and what appeared to be scratches or scars on both of his cheeks. The man did not try to conceal his face from any witnesses. The driver was also reportedly wearing a long-sleeved Gap brand pullover shirt with the logo printed on the chest and on the sleeves, a pair of FUBU jeans with the image of the character Fat Albert on the right rear pocket, and a pair of scuffed brown Timberland boots. In February of 2002, America's Most Wanted featured a short segment during one of their episodes regarding Bianca's disappearance, and following the case being aired, Bridgeport Police received a number of new lines of inquiry, but unfortunately no significant leads were established. In April of 2002, police began the process of tracking down a 20-year-old man named Jason Gonzalez, also known as Jason Lara, in relation to Bianca's disappearance. The Lara and Lebron families reportedly had ongoing feuds occurring at the time, though in relation to what is unclear. Lara had been resident in Bridgeport but left 1 month prior to Bianca's disappearance. Authorities faced a number of difficulties in trying to trace Jason down. However, he eventually contacted authorities himself in November of 2003, denying having any involvement in the schoolgirl's vanishing. The police traced the call back to a residence in Fort Myers, Florida, and actually arrested Jason Lara, but in relation to second-degree forgery charges. He had been using the name Jason Gonzalez on official forms of identification, when Jason Lara was his legal name. Following his arrest, Jason was questioned extensively by authorities in relation to Bianca's case, though according to one source, he was allegedly not particularly cooperative. A sketch of Bianca's abductor was released to the public, and in the police's minds, there were striking similarities between the suspect and Jason Lara. They also discovered that one of Lara's friends owned a vehicle which was similar to the one Bianca got into on the day she disappeared. Jason Lara did have a previous criminal record, however, and following his arrest in Fort Myers, he was sentenced to 7 years in prison in relation to a carjacking charge, though he was released early. Rather disturbingly, according to Bianca's loved ones, Jason Lara was allegedly the schoolgirl's, quote, secret boyfriend. Some family members claimed to have seen the 20 and 10-year-old kissing in the past, though Jason's girlfriend denied this and claimed that these allegations were made as a result of the Lara-Lebron feud. It is unknown if Jason was ever questioned or investigated in regards to allegedly grooming a child. Bianca's friends also recalled how she told them about a crush she had on an older boy called Jason. The two actually knew each other quite well and spent a lot of time around one another, though never on their own. Jason was actually the son of Bianca's great uncle's girlfriend. Following extensive investigations, Jason Lara was found to have a cast iron alibi at the time Bianca was abducted, and as a result, he was cleared of having any involvement in her disappearance. Following Jason Lara being cleared, very little progress has since been made in the case. Not one single arrest has been made in connection to the schoolgirl's disappearance, and the case has, unfortunately, gone cold. Just to note, at the time, Bianca's parents were on good terms, and neither of them were suspected of having any involvement in their daughter's vanishing. In 2008, after legally declaring Bianca Lebron as deceased, the Lebron family filed a wrongful death suit against the school for letting Bianca leave the school grounds with an unidentified individual. Carmelita, her mother, still believes her daughter to be alive out there somewhere. However, a lawsuit could not be laid against the school unless Bianca was declared legally dead. The city eventually reached a settlement and paid the Lebron family approximately $750,000 following an extensive investigation into the school's misconduct following Bianca's abduction. The following year, in 2009, after receiving a tip from a member of the public, law enforcement conducted searches in Bridgeport's seaside park in an effort to locate Bianca's remains. However, their efforts proved to be unsuccessful. A number of age progression images have been made over the years by the National Centre for Missing and Exploited Children, in the hopes that someone might recognise Bianca Lebron if she is still out there somewhere. But at the time of releasing this video, the case remains unsolved. At the time of her disappearance, Bianca Lebron was 10 years old. She is described as being of Hispanic descent, standing at approximately 4 feet 11 inches tall and weighing approximately 115 pounds. Bianca has brown hair and hazel eyes and also has a birthmark on her forehead. On the day she vanished, Bianca was wearing a green, beige and brown camouflage shirt, a pair of beige trousers, a pair of black boots and a dark blue denim jacket. If she is still alive today, Bianca Lebron would be 31 years old. Despite a number of media appeals, tips and leads, the driver who abducted 10-year-old Bianca Lebron has never been identified, and the schoolgirl has never been found. Over 20 years on, and authorities are no closer to discovering the truth, despite the FBI intermittently being involved. According to an article published in the Connecticut Post, there was a reward offered at the time of $50,000 from the state, and an additional $12,000 being offered by the city and People's Bank for any information which could lead to the whereabouts of Bianca Lebron. The News 12 Connecticut website states that this reward still stands as of 2017. Those who have any information regarding the disappearance of Bianca Lebron are urged to contact Bridgeport Police Department on 203 332 5533.